Yep, that's the one, champ.
Hear ye. Facts only is hit.
I just don't enter a room. I make an entrance. To that mic on, my mic on, to my mic on. Hey, to my mic on. Hey, to my mic on.
Their mic's on.
Thanks.
You're welcome. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Facts Only. It's your boy Say Live, the one and only.
The one and only jackass. What's up, everybody? It's Anton Next Time. How y'all doing? You know?
I thought I was the troll.
Oh, I'm not trolling. We're not trolling when we're speaking facts only. See what I did there? I see. I'm corny, but it's cool.
That's exactly. No. That's exactly.
I let you do it this time since it was such a problem 5 minutes ago.
That's what I thought.
You get on my damn nerves, but
first and foremost, I would like to take a brief 8 seconds of silence for the late great Kobe Bryant. For sure. Yeah, as you guys know, last Sunday he passed away in a tragic helicopter accident.
Along with his 13-year-old daughter, young Queen Miss Gigi Bryant.
Yeah, and 7 other passengers. We send our condolences out to those families of those passing. We just it definitely weighed heavy on my heart. How I got the news, it was like I got like 3-4 phone calls. It was just like, I actually felt like I lost like a relative. It kind of hurt.
I was here when I found out. And, you know, I'm sitting in the station, and you got CNN on one screen, and you got Fox on the other, and it just flashed breaking. And I'm like, that's the last thing I expected to see today.
Right.
That's the last person I expected something so tragic to happen to today. That just don't discriminate. I have nothing else to say other than everything that you just said. Of course, on behalf of Facts Only, the families and our thoughts and our prayers during this tumultuous time. But I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Yeah.
So it caused a lot of outpour around the world. It wasn't just, I know LA is grieving different right now. So, but everybody
for their first game back from his passing, they had 24 jerseys as well as the number 8 jerseys spread out around the whole stadium.
Yeah, I just saw one of the pictures.
Yeah, and it's definitely a touching moment. LeBron James actually got a tattoo for the legacy of Kobe. He got it on his lower thigh.
Yeah, I know.
It's pretty cool. If you guys want to check it out, you definitely should check it out.
I know as of right now, they are currently in the process of trying to figure out the funeral arrangements, specifically where they are going to have the funeral. At first, they wanted to do it at the Staples Center, but
they're going to need to do it at the Staples Center.
It's not big enough. That's the problem.
Well, where they going to go?
They tried to do it at, I believe it's called the Rose Bowl. I think it's called the Rose Bowl Stadium, but the problem with that is it's too far away. It's out in Pasadena, California. Wow. So that's a little too far, but that is the biggest, if I'm not mistaken, the biggest stadium venue situation in the area. But it's too far out, but that it can hold, you know, the amount of people who actually want to go. If I'm not mistaken, they did Nipsey's funeral at the Staples Center, and that was packed out.
Yeah.
So imagine Kobe Bryant. So they're currently in the process of attempting to figure that out now. But in terms of so many celebrities and fans and everybody was just grieving and sending their condolences out. Even right now, the NBA, they're going up. There's a petition going around to actually get the NBA logo changed over. To Kobe Bryant.
I actually signed it. I'm gonna send it to you so you can sign it.
Yeah, I definitely do that.
I'm trying to get to like 3 million.
Yeah, I believe the current person who I actually did not know this is Jerry West.
Yeah,
that's who's on the logo. But I know some people were asking questions like, so are we gonna do the same when LeBron dies? Are we gonna do the same when Michael Jordan dies? And I'm like, we can't say, but no, it's not the way he went out.
Exactly,
it's completely different.
It's a different type of, you know what I'm saying? It's
respect.
Exactly. Kobe Bryant has done so much for the sport of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, to me, he's done more than Michael Jordan. No shade to Michael Jordan, but quite honestly, Kobe's has been quite vocal activist when it comes to black
transcended
people.
just sports alone.
Yeah, he did. So, in other news, Lil Wayne made a tribute to his role model Kobe Bryant on his album that dropped on the 31st.
Yeah.
He did a 24-second silence on track number 8.
That means he had just added that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did. When he found out, coincidentally, the album name is Funeral. But if you turn it upside down, it says Lil Wayne.
The album cover says Lil Wayne.
That's pretty dope.
That's cool.
He contacted the Young Money president, which is Mac Main still, and Mac Main agreed that the last 24 seconds for
the album
for that track on the album is
what's the name of the track?
Track number 8.
Okay.
Track number 8. That's
I haven't listened to the album.
I haven't
had time.
I haven't either. I did listen to a snippet of Yo Gotti's new project, but that's
I don't really listen to Gotti like
me
that.
neither. But it was a good song on there, so I listened to it.
The name of the track is Bing James.
Bing James.
Bing James. Bing, like the search engine. Bing. Yeah.
Oh no. I'm gonna have to go holler at my conspiracy theorists. I got an album. I got an album named Funeral. The 8th track is Bing James. It's a 24-second silence. I don't know, man.
My conspiracy theorists they came out the freaking woodwork. Y'all get on my nerves.
I
But
ain't
you know who else?
yet.
You know who else popped out?
Who?
There is a YouTuber under the name of K Element, and this video started making its rounds around social media, around Facebook, around Twitter. I saw it several times, it gained a decent amount of traction. This young lady went on an 11-minute rant about how she feels like black women should not grieve Kobe Bryant because he is not considered to be a black ally. Exactly. That face that you just made, that face that I'm pretty sure y'all just made, was my face when I sat there for the full 11 minutes and watched that foolishness.
Why do we do this?
What I did not like about the video, like specifically,
I feel like she doesn't understand his culture background. She sees
him as nothing more than a black man,
and that's the problem. Like, let's take a moment.
Everybody has their flaws, though, and that's my thing. The only reason they know about it is because it's on TV. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're in the limelight all the time. TMZ is following every move. Like, TMZ literally broke this story before
the family even knew.
Exactly.
Which was so freaking crazy. And the way that they broke it down, I don't like the way TMZ break news because it's almost as if it is a joke. There is no type of
TMZ need a trigger warning.
That was a sad day for journalism anyway,
really
because as so many publications were so concerned with wanting to be first, they were not concerned with being accurate.
Exactly.
They did not care about because at first there was rumors going around saying that the whole family was on there.
Exactly.
And then it was all the girls, and then Rick Fox's name popped up in the midst of that. And all of that was wrong. He only had the one they were on the way to a game or a practice or something like that. And 2 of those passengers were 2 of Gigi's teammates.
2 of Gigi's teammates.
Parents, a coach,
a parent, some parents, as well as the pilot.
Yeah.
And the picture of if I must say, if you see the picture of the pilot, it looks weird. I'm not gonna lie.
Are you turning into a conspiracy theorist again?
I am. It looks like they kind of put some glasses on them. Like, I don't know what the heck it.
Man,
look at that picture. That picture ain't it.
But let me double back to Shorty 40 on YouTube, because I was very much so tempted. After I got done, I wanted to get into the comments and dig into her life. The reason why I could not is because she turned her comments off. But that's neither here nor there. I just don't like whether somebody is dead or alive, but more so when they're dead, we don't allow people to see people past their flaws.
She hiding her hand, bro. Like, I can't respect
No, she
that.
Didn't hide her hand.
She turned her comments off. That's throwing a rock and hiding your hand, bro.
Nah, hiding your hand would be deleting the video after this that went viral.
No, because you know it's gonna go viral. Like, you did it to go viral, but you didn't want to stand up to the backlash that was gonna come behind it. So you turned the comments off.
She accused him of being a colorist, and she was making comments about him not being a black ally because his wife isn't black, and it was just a bunch of foolery.
Does she know his his cultural background.
I can only assume that she does not.
She couldn't.
She couldn't. No, 0% chance in hell.
She would know that. Okay, so it's like, okay, he has a different culture understanding than we have entirely. You know what I'm saying? So it's bigger than, she's not a black woman.
Not to take shots, not to spread negativity, but she do look like she sell all-day transfers at the Hanley station. I'm just saying. Are you ready to digress? Because
please, because she
pissed you off.
Oh, so let's just jump into this one since I got it right here.
Okay, that's fine.
So Offset's throwing punches at the strip club, huh?
And he had every freaking reason to. Some man threw a glass of, I don't know if it was champagne, alcohol, water, it don't matter. He threw a drink at Cardi on stage, and Offset was there, and he decided to wreck homeboy up.
I would have done the same.
I probably would have done worse. His reaction time was a little too slow for my liking. And it wasn't because it was intentional.
Yeah.
His facial expression just looked like he was processing it. Like,
are you dead ass?
Really, bro?
Bro, yeah.
Fade, incoming fade.
Exactly, bro. This is exactly why I told my girl she can't be no bottle girl, bro. Like, she would tell me, like, oh, they make so much money. I'm like, bro, like, I would lose my what?
The fact that you're trying to censor yourself so much.
Bro, like, yeah, no.
I don't have those problems right now.
Dog.
I couldn't. I mean, even like growing up, my sister was like, I want to be a Hooters girl. And my daddy was like, no. Absolutely. And I don't even think Hooters girls have issues like that. They probably do, but I rarely hear about them. Not as much as being in a club or...
No comment on Hooters girls.
I love me a good Hooters girl. I love me some Hooters. I might stop and get some Hooters on the way home. Into whom? Can we get into the Grammys?
I mean...
Are you?
Billy already... She wiped that clean. I don't know what we talking about.
We got a lot.
She like won every
We
award.
got a lot. We got to get into some things. First of all, the Grammys had... This year's Grammys had the lowest ratings in Grammys history.
Of course it did.
But... in addition to the fact that I watched a bulk of the award ceremony, it was dry. There were a lot of standout moments for me, but the overall show was dry as all get out. But it's so many ways that you can watch stuff like that now through streaming services, and I don't think they take those ratings and views into account. So when you have so many ways to watch shows and stuff like that now, yeah, it's gonna make your ratings look a little crazy.
You think you want to know what I think affected the ratings?
What? Kobe?
That, as well as, I don't know if they scheduled this stuff on purpose, but it was the Pro Bowl day, you know what I'm saying, like NFL Pro Bowl, but I didn't watch either. It's just like, I would be more cognizant of, okay, what else is on this day?
Well, they always do the Grammys around this time of year, and it's always, the Super Bowl and the Grammys always coordinate to figure out, because they're always back to back. Literally, week one is one weekend, and then second weekend two is the second one. And they always go back and forth and coordinate to see which one.
On Saturday, because I don't know, like, it's like, why are you fighting for ratings?
I think it's because the big pop R&B stars were not there. Beyond the Beyoncés and the Rihannas and the Nicki Minaj's, and
where they was at?
They weren't there. Everybody was at the Rock Nation brunch the day before, though.
Yeah.
Everybody was at the Rock Nation brunch the day before. Beyonce was like, listen, it's at my house. I ain't got no choice but to be here. Jay-Z said, put some clothes on, honey. We got company coming over. For real. But did you see like the videos and all the stuff from the Rock Nation brunch?
Of course.
Crazy. And then later on that night was the Clive Davis party. And I got this in my list, in my notes. We got to talk about Diddy. Diddy went on a roughly 50 minute, it wasn't a rant, it was a speech.
Yeah, Mace didn't like that.
He didn't like that at all because he felt like he got cheated in. Apparently there's Diddy has a reputation of doing bad business with his recording contracts in the music industry, has been like that for years. I think
they told you not to sign to a label. You thought his was different.
Well, the 90s were different. The 90s was a different time. Like now, you can come up and you don't need the backing of a record label. You don't need a machine behind you to be successful anymore, because that's just the way the industry is now. But Mace wasn't too keen on it.
Getting ripped off then as they will be now. Like,
Yeah.
360 deals came out then. They ain't just start happening now.
You're right. And I don't see why people, but I mean, they feel like if this is my only shot, if this is my only opportunity, I'm going to have to jump for it and see if I can capitalize on it another way. But at least I got the back end that I need now to get where I'm trying to be at.
Yeah.
I don't think I would do it, though. I try to thug it out my own way. That's just me. But back to Mr. Combs. He went on a 50-minute speech, and he was basically discussing how black artists are not properly recognized within the Recording Academy. And he spoke about the politics within the Recording Academy and how basically saying how black artists are not properly celebrated. Like, we have our categories, but he feels like those categories are there to keep us from being within the major categories, like the big four, the album of the year and the record of the year and stuff like that. So, you know, the Grammys came up, it was some years ago, almost a decade ago, they came up with a category called Best R&B Contemporary Album or something like that. And there's been a lot of opinions about the categories that are made to put black artists within a box. So he went on and ran about that. Here's my thing. I agree with Diddy to a certain extent because, and we were talking about this last week, me and you had this discussion last week. I personally feel like we have those platforms where we're celebrated and where we're not tolerated, like how we're tolerated at the Grammys, but we don't give them the time of day. So you're literally asking for the Recording Academy to give you some type of recognition, which is understandable because it is that's the biggest award you can get in the music industry.
If you can put on a brunch, you can put on an award ceremony.
Absolutely.
So did he put your money where your mouth is,
you and Jay need to get
bro.
together. Y'all are two of the richest black men in the music industry.
In the entertainment industry.
In the entertainment industry,
be
because
clear.
their funds, their income, their net worth, it exceeds music.
Be clear.
So what's up? I agree with what you're saying on the speech, but you going on this I don't want to call it a rant.
To me, the Grammys are bigger than music. Like
there's music, there's songwriting,
exactly. Michelle Obama won a Grammy, bro, for best spoken word album. Like
my queen.
Like people ain't tripping off. Like the Grammys is huge. Like it's a bunch of awards. That people
it's
don't
more
know
than just
about.
the 9 or 10 that they showed during the main broadcast. Like that entire day before Lizzo even opened up the show, she had already won a Grammy.
Exactly.
Billie Eilish swept. So let's get into her. My good sis won 5 Grammys in one night. Mind you, she's only 18, and this is being recognized as her debut album.
Record of the year.
Yep. Song of the year.
Album of the year.
Mm-hmm. Best new artist.
Song of the year.
Yep.
Best new artist.
Yep.
That's 4, and then best pop vocal album.
Yep. She swept the big 4.
Sound like a big 5 to me.
Other than the best new artist, song of the year, record of the year, and what was the last one? Album of the year?
Best pop vocal album.
No, that was not in the big 4. That 5th one is not in the big 4. She swept the big 4.
Okay.
She is the youngest to ever do that, and she's the first one to do that since the early 80s. That is an accomplishment. Now, a lot of people kind of gave her, she's overrated. You know, you start getting hate in the backlash. Me personally, and this is because I'm a little bit, I love Billie, but I really, really was hoping that Lana Del Rey got the album of the year. I just want Lana to get a freaking Grammy. But a lot of people weren't concerned about Ariana Grande.
You want to know who I'm glad won a Grammy?
Who?
Kirk Franklin.
Has he never won one?
No, I'm just saying I'm glad he won for gospel album
I
of
saw
the year.
that. Coffee won best reggae.
Really?
Yes.
But the reason I said that because Kanye dropped a gospel album. And I didn't want that to trump.
Was it nominated?
I'm not sure. I don't watch the Grammys. I don't care about the Grammys. I'm just talking about it. I'm tolerating the Grammys for you. You're welcome.
Thanks.
Thanks
for since you put it like that. I appreciate it, brother. Jesus, I'm listening.
Oh, I lost my train.
You lost your train of thought.
Okay, so Kanye made this gospel album, and I'm like, man, it would be a shame for that album to win gospel album of the year. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's a one-off.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying like Kanye won't do another gospel album, but it's you know what I'm saying? He just did this, and it is, to me, it's still gimmicky.
I have mixed opinions about Kanye creating a gospel album. I never want to disrespect somebody's spirituality.
Yeah,
I never want to disrespect somebody's journey with God, but from a spiritual standpoint,
I honestly seen it coming.
Well, he was kind of trying to go in that direction with The Life of Pablo. Like, he was going around vocalizing, saying that, trying to call it a gospel album. I think Chance the Rapper had a little bit to do with that, though. That's just me.
Yeah.
But
you know, from the beginning of Kanye, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus Walks was a testimony to, like,
yeah, Jesus Walks was a hit.
Yeah.
But he's gone down such a rabbit hole since then.
Yeah.
Finally, and that's what makes it seem like a gimmick. I don't think it's a gimmick. For me, from a spiritual standpoint, I don't feel an anointing coming off of that album. I didn't even stop to listen to it.
Yeah, it's really just
it don't sit right with me.
It's just bounce. I mean, like, it's like I don't think I was hear that at church on Sunday morning.
Nope. But his Sunday service performances be really, really dope. He actually did one for Kobe.
Really?
He did like a midnight Sunday service for Kobe the day he passed. Do I have anything else to cover with the girl? My good sis Lizzo, she won 3, but we got to talk about Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X won 2 Grammys.
He did.
I don't remember exactly what the categories are, but y'all got to keep in mind there's over 70 categories that you can win a Grammy in. So it's a lot. It's a lot to keep up with.
I got a few of them right here.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you want to run them off, or do you want me to get into the story first?
Best Pop Duo.
Okay. For Old Town Road. And
Yeah.
I think he got Best Video. Or the other one's Best Video.
Music Video.
Yeah. And that
then
was for Old Town Road as well.
Yeah, he got 2.
He got 2.
Okay.
So,
yeah, he got 2.
Do you know who Pastor Troy is? Have you ever heard of Pastor Troy?
Of course.
I've never heard of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, did you see Lil Nas X outfit at the Grammys? What he wore?
Oh, you're talking about the homophobic comment that Pastor Troy made? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
So he made a comment, and he wasn't talking about the song. He did not disrespect the song. His issue was with Lil Nas X attire. He had an issue with what he was wearing.
But
he was
why?
borderline dressed in camp for real. He wasn't the only one. Billy Porter was dressed in camp.
It was some terrible
Guap
outfits
Dad
at
4000 was dressed in camp. Did you see his do? He had a.
That's my boy.
That's my boy. But he had an issue with his attire, and he was basically saying his comments were centered around if I dress like this, or if I'm not dressed like this, or if I'm not moving like this, I'm not gonna get celebrated. My music isn't gonna be recognized by the Recording Academy.
So Pastor Troy is saying that he is doing all this for a publicity stunt.
That's what he's attempting to say out of misinformation, because I'm about to get them together real fast.
Mm-hmm.
And he was basically saying masculinity came in, that's a big word, especially amongst the black community, and basically saying that people like Lil Nas X are stripping the black man's masculinity down. Here's the thing. The song was a hit before Lil Nas X even came out. He came out at the very, very end of Pride Month, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the end of May, the end of June. The end of June. The song was already #1 for weeks at that point. The song was already a hit by that point. You wasn't gonna get a Grammy, no way, Pastor Troy. I don't know who told you that you would, or who told you that you had it. I've never heard of you up until this point. In fact, I honestly think that you're riding off of Lil Nas X coattails, but that's just me. I feel that way. I just didn't see a point in him making his comments, especially when they are being made out of ignorance, because I don't even think he took into account the fact that Old Town Road was a big hit before he came out. Then when he came out, he became, if I'm not mistaken, the first person amongst the LGBT community, LGBTQIA+, let me get my terminology right, to have a #1 record.
Right.
And it's the longest running #1 in Billboard history. It beat Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men's record of 18 weeks. So the song was a hit. So you have an issue with his attire and the way that he carries himself. But at the end of the day, the Grammys recognize Lil Nas X for the music. So have several. Morph into a seat. Next case. Goddamn.
That's funny.
That's it on the Grammys. That's all I got for the Grammys. I'm done. No, I'm not. Demi Lovato. Best performance of the freaking night. So she performed her song, Anyone. This was her debut of the song. This was her first live performance since her nearly fatal overdose back in July of 2018. And this was her comeback. And she wrote the song literally 4 days before she overdosed. So she overdosed July 24, 2018. She wrote the song on January 20th. And she got a standing ovation during the performance. It was, she got choked up at the beginning, but it was really, really powerful. It was really, really emotional. It stuck to me. Shout out to her. And she's also performing the national anthem at the Super Bowl. So I'll definitely be peeping that. Speaking of the Super Bowl, who you got? We got the
Everything
Kansas City
in me
Chiefs.
says go with the 49ers, but since I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, I'm going to say Kansas City.
I'm going with the Chiefs, too.
All right, cool.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
Shout out to Russell Wilson. He was named the co-owner and chairman of NFL Flag.
Sierra's husband, right?
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Sierra
She's
and
pregnant.
Russell again. They getting busting.
I mean, she made him wait for that poom poom. So,
Yeah,
you know.
And he ain't in the Super Bowl, so I guess you got to do something.
Yep. Baby number 3 is definitely present. NFL, Super Bowl weekend, Kansas City Chiefs, San Francisco 49ers.
Heck yeah.
Halftime.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Can I finish?
I'm
giving
sorry.
my Congratulations to Russell.
Okay, I'm gonna shut up. My bad.
So NFL Flag is a youth flag football league sponsored by the NFL, and you know, like a
bag.
Yeah, that too. But you know, a lot of parents are skeptical about their kids playing football because of the head injuries and stuff like that. And flag is a great opportunity to get them exposed to the sport with less
contact.
Yeah, exactly.
And you run less of a risk of injury, and yeah, I rock with it. I definitely rock with it.
But yeah, Super Bowl halftime.
Yes.
What we looking like?
So we have Shakira and J-Lo performing at the halftime show.
What? J-Lo?
Why you say it like that?
So they're gonna do a tribute to Kobe Bryant on the halftime too.
Yes, right? that's what's swirling around. I will be watching. I will be full focus. I don't know where I'll be watching at. Anyway, I can't stand you. The New York Post released an article basically saying that J-Lo was too big of an artist to share the stage with the likes of Shakira.
J-Lo was outdated.
I don't want to say she's outdated.
I'm just saying
she hasn't had a hit since like 2011 with Pitbull.
Relevancy.
So here's my issue with that. I don't think people really understand internationally how big Shakira is. She is the most awarded Latin artist of all time. 3 Grammys.
I didn't know that.
Dozens of Latin Grammy awards. I think she's won. I don't know if it's 420 or 240. I can't think of the stat right off bat, but she's the highest awarded Latin artist in music. That's why she always breaks a streaming record, and that's why her tours are always so successful. Her tour numbers are staggering. Like, it's unbelievable. She's like the Beyonce of the Latin community.
Speaking of Beyonce.
Uh-oh. What you got about B?
This Beehive update is brought to you by Popeyes.
What? Don't put Popeyes in this.
No, seriously.
I want a chicken sandwich so bad.
Popeyes has created a uniform line inspired by Beyonce's Ivy Park
I saw that. Oh, shoot. I saw that. Bro,
you know what we need to do?
we need to come up with a Ivy Park-esque line for facts only and put our logo on and change the color scheme.
I was gonna say we need a Beehive update. We need a special person to give us a Beehive.
I got somebody in mind too. Ooh, I got somebody in mind too.
I think I know who you're talking about. I think that's probably what inspired me to think that.
She don't live in St. Louis though, so we gonna have to figure it out.
We got a phone. We can Skype her as well.
Bet. And when she hear this, she gonna know.
Yeah,
she gonna know.
Oh my God,
that's my baby. I love me some her. She know who she is. Just know
who you are.
You know who you are, little baby.
And that has been your Beehive update, brought to you by Popeyes.
Whatever. All right, let's get into Terry Crews versus Gabrielle Union versus social media.
He apologized, God.
He did, but listen, it took us quite a minute to get there. All he had to do was keep his mouth off of it. He ain't have to say nothing. I ain't mean it like that. Fix your face.
Oh.
Wow.
You said it. I was going to have to call Dwayne on y'all.
Anyway, listen, all he had to do was keep his mouth shut. So this all started because he was doing an interview, and I guess the interviewer brought up comments about her saying that she dealt with racism and sexism behind the scenes of America's Got Talent before they fired her. He said, I can't relate. I know nothing about this. My experience has been totally different from hers. He didn't back her up in a way. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you see what goes on behind the scenes, and you're meaning to tell me that you're saying that you can't relate or that you don't even know what's going on. So she took a bit of offense to it, and it kind of spiraled from there. Now, the focal point of this story that I want to sit on is a very specific tweet that he made once the women in social media got on his head and was like, "You're not backing my good sis up," because they really did her dirty. And I agree. I think they did her wrong. I don't think you can't do the likes of Gabrielle Union the way America's Got Talent did her. Like, they didn't have to fire her like that, no warning, no. It was, yeah, I thought that was kind of whack. But he made a tweet, and he was basically saying the only woman that I have to listen to, honor, and respect, for lack of a better term, is his wife, Rebecca. Not my mother, not my sister, not my daughters, not my co-workers. My wife is, I think he called her his shield or his wings. My wife is my wings, something like that. My wife is my wings. I remember that because I correlated it to Red Bull. He basically called his wife a can of Red Bull. But that tweet set Twitter off. That was freaking crazy to me. Nothing? You have nothing?
I'm sorry. I got distracted. You want to know why?
Because you don't care.
No, I do care, but I mean, it's Terry Crews. It's the cheap guy off Everybody Hates Chris. Come on, man. His opinion doesn't matter.
It's the man with jungle fever on white chicks.
Yeah,
Negro, please.
Yeah,
making my way downtown, walking fast.
His opinion don't matter to me. I don't care what he thinks. I'm sorry, Gabrielle Union, for you being racially discriminated against on
America's Got Talent. They don't deserve you. You still ISIS
bigger than them, girl.
From Bring It On in my eyes.
Facts.
Come on, ISIS, let me do this. I need to go home and watch that.
So Barbie is doing big things.
Barbie as in?
The doll company.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So they have... So Barbie has introduced a doll with vitiligo and a doll with hair loss to help promote diversity. Vitiligo. It's where you lose the coloring of your skin. So they have a pretty cool doll that has vitiligo.
I love the level of inclusivity that's being brought into this. I love it.
They got some different ones on here. Like it's real diversity. If you've seen them, you'll be like, oh, okay.
I love it.
They're actually, you know what I'm saying, they're including all people.
I stand. And this is why it's teaching young girls at a young age that people come in all different shapes, all different sizes, all different abilities, all different conditions. And if you can relate to one of these and you have a doll that looks like you as a child, that's like, that boosts your self-esteem up. That boosts your credit score up at least 40 points before you even know what credit is. So I'm with it. I'm with it. Go ahead, Barbie. I'm with all of it. I'm with all the BS.
That's funny. BS Barbie stuff.
Barbie stuff. Yeah. See what I did there? Boom. I'm glad you caught. This is why I mess with you. Let's talk about Mendices from VH1's Love and Hip Hop. He is being released from jail after being in for 4 years. So he finally gets to be with his family. He finally gets to be with his wife, Yandy. I'm super happy for them because I love the dynamic of their relationship. I'm just trying to figure out how their living arrangement is going to work out, because in the midst of this, during the 4 years he was in jail, Yandy adopted a child. So there's a foster child that lives in the house. And there has been a bit of an issue with how a felon and a foster child are going to live in a house together. You know, state of New York, state of Jersey, they ain't having it. Well, so they're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So if you had to be in a situation,
all they'll do is they'll just buy two properties, and his legal address will be, you know, and then
they could do that.
Yeah, I really hate the
system.
Yeah, I hate the system because it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. And no matter how many strides you take forward,
he's always going to have a consistent reminder of the mistakes that he's made in the past.
Like you don't even, in this day and age, you don't even have to take steps backwards. The world's going to force you to go backwards.
What I don't like about the system, and even thinking about it now, it pisses me off. I know certain facilities are just starting to catch up on a trend. You have people sitting in these facilities for years, and you want them to understand the mistakes that they made and be able to learn and grow from them, but you don't have any programs implemented to make that happen. I know there are some facilities that you are now able to pursue a degree in while you're in. We have a friend who's currently doing that right now. What about trade? Getting a degree, picking up a trade, stuff like that, so that when they get out, they have the tools needed so that they can be properly acclimated back into the civilian lifestyle after being stuck in this position for so long. I don't get it. So now, like, their name is scarred.
Right.
And if they don't have a skill set, and depending on what they got convicted for, how are they supposed to move forward? It's almost as if you're still in chains. You're free, but you're not.
Right.
Because now you gotta really get creative.
Speaking of chains, the D.C. police officially announced they will no longer handcuff any children under the age of 12.
Why would you? Okay, I could see some instances. I could see maybe one or two possible scenarios where that could come in, but it's like super freaking rare.
No, I see zero reason to handcuff a child.
There's some strong 12-year-olds out here.
I do not care. That is the most triggering or most scariest thing you can do to a child is put them in handcuffs, hand restraints. No matter how strong they are. Like, you're an adult. This is a child. This is basically the first interaction they had with the police officer. And this police officer, this is putting them in cuffs. Tell me how that fosters good relationships with police and people. Tell me how that fosters a good relationship with himself, the child as himself. Tell me how that doesn't trigger him to want to, go off on the deep end and start living a life of crime.
It's case by case. It really depends. I agree. You shouldn't be putting 12-year-olds in handcuffs. But if it's a situation where he's like extremely aggressive and that's the only way to really contain him to where you can get into a position where he can listen to reason, it depends on what you're doing it for. If you're putting a 12-year-old in handcuffs for the sake of doing it, but if that's the only way that I can get you to calm down, like you are completely out of it, you're not trying to listen to reason, you swinging on, and I gotta contain you somehow, I'm gonna do that. I would rather put
a child.
I would rather put a 12-year-old in handcuffs, and this may put stuff into perspective for you. I'd rather do that than empty a clip, because for so many police officers, that's the first option. They don't think about handcuffs. They think about a gun. I take the handcuffs.
Yeah, that's real. I actually was coming into this building, bro, and seen an officer, bro, and I could just tell he was having a terrible day. I'm a young black man. It was a mid-age white officer, and you could just tell he was having a bad day. He was having a terrible day, and I just spoke to him, bro. I was just like, man, how you doing? Like, and I think that shocked him. But it was just like, all right, yeah, I don't really rock with the police. I had some bad run-ins with the police. Some was my fault, some wasn't. I'll take the blame for some of that. But it was just like, all right, at the end of the day, this is a human. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have terrible days, and like I could tell that one interaction with me was like,
it was enough to kind of bring him up.
Exactly.
Especially in the city that we live in, for those who do not know, we are based in St. Louis. And it's not just us. It's an issue that kind of happens all over. And we've seen that on so many accounts. There's a disconnect between the police and the community. And because of so many messed up situations, Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, I could keep going. Ain't no point in me keeping to do so. There's that divide is so blunt. Like, it's just a blunt cut between the two. There's no type of relationship between the police and the community. And I think that's what a big part of that issue is. You got people who live in Chesterfield, and you got people who live over in St. Peter's and St. Charles, and they come into St. Louis City to work. They don't know nothing about the people who live in this community. They don't know nothing about the lifestyle that these people live in this community, because once you get off the clock and you go home and you go back to your family, you go back across the water. You go back over to St. Charles County. You go back over into Chesterfield. You go back over in the town and country, Baldwin, whatever. And there's no level of understanding. But I kind of have to come to the police officer's defense as well, because the good ones. I'm going to come to the defense of the good ones, because there's a lot of corrupt, effed up police officers out here, and we all know this. But for those good ones, they get a bad rep.
For sure.
They get a bad rep. My father was a lieutenant for the city. My father was a police officer growing up. So that's why. And when Mike Brown happened, back in 2014. The first thing he did was call me. And we had a really, really long conversation, and he basically told me what I needed to do in the event that I had a run-in with a police officer, no matter where I am. I've had run-ins, but it hasn't been anything bad because literally the second I pulled my ID out and they saw that my last name was Smoot, oh, you Tony's son. Right. Let me call him. My dad told them, write me a couple tickets because, like, little stuff, I'm on the Metrolink. And I didn't know how to ride the Metrolink, and I didn't know I needed a ticket. And yeah, they asking for your look. Yeah, But he did that so that I could learn and understand. But to bring all this,
had the talk.
We had this really, really long talk about what I needed to do, how to react, how to respond, how to communicate in the event that you bump into it. Because he was like, everybody in the system and in the city don't really rock with me like that. No way. You got your people who you don't like, so they see your name, they may try to, they may try to mess with you. But that does not take away from the disconnect between the two. And I believe once that relationship has been built, it makes things a little easier, at least for those police officers like the one that you had your conversation with, who he just having a bad day, and you may or may not know why. When you said that, the first thing that I went to is he probably worked up about the fact that this is how he feeding his kids and paying his bills, and he got to walk around almost guarded all the time because he looks like the enemy, and he may be the most kind-hearted person, but because of his job and because of so many messed up incidents that have happened, the title of being a police officer has almost been tarnished.
You trying to keep this conversation spicy?
Why not? I like spicy food now.
So, Old Bay released a new hot sauce.
Who?
Old Bay. It's like a Cajun spice company. Yeah.
Before we get into this, can I compliment your segue into that? You said, do you want to keep the conversation? What did you say? Do you want to keep the conversation spicy?
Yeah.
I really thought that we were going to keep the police conversation going. I really did. And you really just sent me over with that one. 2 points up top. Give it here. Come on. You won. You won for the night.
Hey, shout out to Black Twitter for blasting Ross from Friends.
What'd he do?
Oh, man. He suggested that they needed to do an all-black or all-Asian reboot of Friends. Like, Friends didn't form from Living Single. Like, Friends wasn't one of the names that they chose for Living Single before they actually chose Living Single.
Friends is literally whitewashed Living Single.
Well, come on, Ross. Come on,
Eat him
man.
up. Speaking of Asians. This ain't funny. This is not to be xenophobic. This isn't to be racist. But what is going on with this coronavirus?
I don't know. I think it's a ploy to keep us out of China.
Good. Y'all ain't got to worry about me. I ain't got a passport, no way. Keys and Dre just told me I needed to get one, though.
You do.
It'll happen.
Especially if you don't have the new Missouri ID.
I do not have the new Missouri ID. I've been meaning to go get a state ID, but I've also been meaning to get a passport because I am currently in the process of trying to figure out my plans for my birthday. So even though yours is way sooner, but we're not going to go there. Yes, we are. What are you doing?
What? I ain't doing nothing for my birthday.
Why are you so boring? You just dry.
That's cool. Y'all want to throw me a surprise party?
What makes you say that?
Damn. Hey, Taraji.
Oh my God, G.
Shout out to Taraji. She dropped her
natural hair care line. I have to get in. Now, y'all know I'm growing the fro back out.
It is only at Target, so you...
Oh, it's bougie.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go eat that up later.
Yeah,
You want to go to Target with me? I went in Target like maybe 2 weeks ago. And was that 2 weeks ago? Yeah, I went in Target like 2 weeks ago. And I flourished. I'm ghetto.
You know I got a party tonight.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
You didn't tell me a damn thing.
You know how I be.
I can't. Last time I went to a college party like that, I was still in college. So it's been well over 2 years since I've been in a college party.
Did you see that DM I sent you on Instagram about Rihanna?
No. In my defense, I've been preoccupied.
Yeah. 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 No.
Don't do that. Let's not do that. You didn't send me one.
It's in the facts only email.
Okay, sport. Me not sure what's going here.
Wow.
It's fake. Fake.
What's fake?
And now for your segment for the new Rihanna Navy News Factory. This is Anton Exton bringing you the latest news on Her Excellency Dr. Robin Rihanna Fenty. That is her full title. Thank you very much. So I just read this lovely little DM that you're referring to, and it's being said that A$AP Rocky and Rihanna are allegedly dating, and fake news.
That's all you got?
This is Anton Next Time, and that has been your Rihanna Navy news update. Thank you very much.
That's all you got?
Back to you, Wase.
Is that all you got? That is fake. All right. I thought she had a boyfriend, though.
It's being reported that they very recently broke up.
Shout out to her. She gonna have a great ass album.
I can't. Wait, actually, I can. I pretty much don't have a choice. I've been waiting this long. She dropped the album in 4 years. But she been in her bag. In 4 years, since she dropped her last album, she's become the richest woman in music. She been in her bag. She got a $600 million net worth. I be a boyfriend. That's fine.
No, she need a man. She don't need no boy.
But you're just a boy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, thank you for listening to this episode of Facts Only. Again, I am Anton X Time.
And that's your boy Say Live. And don't forget to check us out on all your social medias at Facts Only Pod. That's FACTSONLYPODD. You can also check us out on our personals. My personal is Say Live. SAYELIVE.
And mine is, of course, Anton X Time. It's all over the place. Make sure you don't forget it. And let me not forget to tell y'all, we are now officially on Apple Podcasts. So if you have not smashed that subscribe button and join the Facts Only family, you need to fix that. It's a part of the problem, and we need you to be a part of the solution. So come on in. Pool's open, water's fine. Take me home. Send me out. I love y'all so much. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Late.